Hello everyone. So tonight I'm going to be running through a few things on the microscope before showing you what we've got for Rachna, and let's dive in. So right now I've got this handy little tool here that you can see, this little ruler. This one here doesn't look like much other than this piece of glass, but it's got these measurements on it. This one, and as you can see on screen, it's very clear. Let me make it perfectly clear, so clear that you can see the fingerprint on it. There. See? But in my eyepieces at the top here, they're not showing the exact same clarity and vision that I would like to have when I'm looking, for instance, through the eyepieces at Rachna or anything else. So what I'd like to do is make sure that my screen is completely in focus, and then I'm going to set both of my eye dials to -5, as I've been told. And then I will adjust my right eye first to ensure that it is reflecting a very sharp image that you would see on the screen, and then I'll do the same with my left eye, and I'll track those numbers so that every time we go to the microscope in the future that I can just have perfect matching screen and binoculars. So I'm going to adjust my right eye first, close my left eye, and I turn the dial until I get the number that I need. Very small, minute movements, and we're at almost 0 on my right eye. And on my left eye, I'm going to close my right eye, and I'm also going to adjust the dial until that comes into focus very clearly. And we are just a little bit below 0.5, the -5. So if you'd like to see up here, we have here these numbers down here where it says 0.6 millimeters. In my eyepieces, which you can't see, they show the exact same clarity on both eyepieces, and it looks exactly the same as in the video camera at the moment. So now jumping in, I'm going to move this handy little tool out of the way so that we don't move that one. Here we're going to bring Rachna into focus. What I've done with Rachna is the other day I promised I would give Rachna a piece of leaf here that has some of the flowers that we took. I think it was called Sweet Alyssum. When we looked at the Sweet Alyssum that we had picked the other day at the park, we had noticed that there were tiny little larvae on them, and they were actually stage 2 thrips nymphs, and so those directly went into a plastic bag and sealed away, because thrips are really detrimental to other houseplants, and they are invasive and they spread really quickly, and once you have a thrips infestation, it is really hard to get rid of them. Insecticidal soaps work well, but they just really take a long time to get rid of. Or you get yourself a pretty little house spider, or a Western spider. We'll switch to the microscope view. Now we'll find Rachna. There she is. And you say, oh, look how cute she is. There she is in all her glory. Now she has been in with the thrips for a few hours now, and when I first started, let's see if we can find some. I think there were probably 10 that I could count just by going over the microscope like this. You could see them walking around. Let's try to find one. Let's go hunting, shall we? She's been pretty good at taking care of them. They're pretty hard to find because they're pretty small still, and she's done a good job of cleaning up here. So there aren't too many left for us to see, but I just had this flipped around. Oh, there's, this is somebody's wing from before. That was it's a carcass of another unsuspecting Arachna victim. And we'll try to find, you gotta be careful because if I spend too much time with the plant in the light, the moisture from the plant creates a little bit of humidity on the new Petri dishes that I have, and it gets a little cloudy in its vision, but you can still see through if you kind of focus it a little bit differently. It just looks like there's a bit of a white balance problem, or it looks a little cloudy. It's nothing to do with being out of focus, it's just the moisture. Oh, is that something? No. You can kind of catch these guys when they come through the light. You'll see a little antennae move, and then all of a sudden you'll grab them. Grab a hold of them, or at least catch them in the light. There were 2 left. I just saw them a few minutes ago. Let's see, I'm gonna flip her over. I don't like that too much, but let's see if we can find some. Wish me luck, happy hunting. I have to say I was quite happy to see that there weren't as many, although it does kind of make for a boring hunt. But it shows that she's been eating, not just the food. Oh, there's one. Look at that, right in the middle there, you see him? He's got these little eyes. I can't get any closer. He's got these 2 little eyes right in the middle. Let me just move my hands off the, put him back into focus. So there's one. You can see it's kind of the same color green. Oh, little antennae are up. That's the top of him here and the bottom. And there seems to be one right behind him. I believe these are the only 2 friends, thrips friends, that there are left. They are, in my opinion, ready to be consumed. I don't need them. I don't want them. Because our Petri dishes, oh, they make me itchy. Because our Petri dishes don't have a seal around them, or they're not twist on, I've taped around the Petri dish because I don't want them out and in the wild. And a few minutes ago, so there's those 2 are there. A few minutes ago, Rachna, who's over here, was sitting on this little leaf here and had something. She kind of was busy with her little hands. And she had a thrips in her mouth, which is quite funny because, I mean, she's quite small. Let's see if we can get her here. I've got her at a bit of an angle. You can see her claws are free. But there's her face. Whoops, she's on the move. She don't like me moving her like that, I guess. Let's see. Whoops, there she goes. Come on. She doesn't want to be seen. Just don't look at me. But I want to see you. Let's see. Oh, now she's in the humidity. That's not helpful. Yeah. Oh, she's on the plant. Oh, no, she's off the plant. Trying to get her to go where I want her to be. Oh, no, she can take a look at her upside down. Zoom out. Oh, no, we can't. She doesn't want to be seen. What I wanted to show was here. Let's see if I can quickly get her to focus. Underneath her body, there are her eyes. I'm gonna hold her here on an angle. On her body, those are her 2 eyes. I'll try to stay still with my hands. Right underneath in the gray, these two kind of things that I'm zoomed in on more. Those nice things are her claws that she kind of eats with. Whoops, they're not focused. There. And she has got these two, like, they look a bit like octopus pinchers on there. And she, that's where she catches the prey with, and she fills it with venom. And so when I looked at her earlier, she was busy. Oops. And she had one of the thrips in her mouth. And she's also built a bit of a web in here. So she's able to crawl around. And the web is only there really to support her. There she is right in front of me. She doesn't use the web to catch anything, but there she is on the leaf, on the little flower stem. What's left of the flower stem as it's decaying. Yeah, it's Rachna tonight. I think she's had about a good 8 to 10 thrips. Maybe there were 12 in there. Maybe there were 10 in there. Aren't too many left. She will eventually get those two friends that were walking around somewhere here. We'll check in on her over time. Still am not quick enough to get a video of her actually eating something. At least not the live capture of something that I've, fed her, like the book lice or so. There's one. Kind of staying right in the middle. And we're gonna try and get him here too. Let's see. The thrips are getting bigger. From when we first saw them, they were really quite tiny. First we only saw 1 or 2, and then started seeing many more of them as they multiplied. Somebody's eggs had hatched. Well, now that Arachna's there, we're down to 2. At least 2 on this plant. There's another sample in another room that we have. It's all taped up. There are probably many more on there. Oh, there's the other one. See? It's the only 2. Maybe it's, it's not like whales where you have identifiers for them. Identify them by their dorsal fin. Har, har. Can't do that with these guys. I moved it the wrong way. Anyway, those are them. They're hanging out. Not for long. Rachna will get them. Rachna. Rachel. Rach for short. She will make her way over to them at one point. Yep. She's very good at blending in. I had a hard time just finding her right now. She starts to blend in with the decaying matter. See, there's a nice shot of her. You can kind of see halfway under her belly. Her legs connect to the side of her torso. There's her eyes from another angle. And again, she's got a very atypical pattern for spider eyes, where instead of having them completely in a horizontal pattern, or kind of side by side, like an 8 pattern 4x4, she has 6 going down, and then 2 at the very bottom, 2 tiny ones. So her bigger eyes here. She's always watching. I still think she's cute. Not that I'd let her out of here. So, there she is. Let's see if we can get another angle. this point, I would have to say I'm 90% certain she's a she. Because I've read that male spiders typically have these little boxing glove type. Oh, they're called something that I've forgotten the name of, but they look like little boxing gloves, and they're right in front of their face. And that's usually how you can tell that they're a male. Can't remember what those little boxing gloves are, but they do look like I've seen some in pictures, and actually read quite a bit about the Western Lynx Spiders yesterday. Quite interesting creatures. There's 18 different species of Western Lynx Spiders, or lynx spiders, and they tend to have a year lifespan if they're well fed. Females grow between 1/4 of an inch to 3/8 of an inch, or 5.9 to 6 millimeters to 9.6 millimeters in length. Let's put her back in focus. There's a really good article from the University of Florida that talks a lot about lynx spiders. And they've got some really nice information. See what kind of, I believe that this chocolate brown item that you can kind of see between her legs here. Whoops, before I put her out of focus. I can bring her back. There's the leaf. We're going this way. There she is. Those chocolate brown, kind of more in focus items below her. Those might be her claws. It's amazing, she's always watching. Yeah. Like her little eyebrows. So I think that's maybe all we're gonna get from our lynx spider tonight. Maybe she's well fed for the evening and doesn't want to play anymore. There's her back. As you can see, she's kind of really well blending in to the leaf around her. Zoom out just a little bit. There we go. That's a nice shot of her back. You can see at her backside, you've got, I believe it's called the lower thorax, and she's got where she would have the silk threads coming out. And it should be in focus here. That should be there, where she would produce her silk thread. And you can see those tiny silk threads. They look like scratches on our petri dish, but they are actually, in fact, her silk thread, and it kind of opens sideways when it's interesting to see when she's actually producing the silk thread that goes behind her. Yep, got nice little fur all behind her. There she is, sitting and waiting, waiting for something to happen. Yep, it's getting a little cloudy. You'll also see that in the enclosure, I've got this cotton ball. I wanted to see if I opened our window again, and I found 2 more of the book lice on the outside of our windowsill. We live in a kind of a more humidity, wet environment in between, especially it's been raining a little bit. So I found 2, but I wasn't very successful in catching them with the petri dish this time. So I tried to catch them with a Q-tip, but it was kind of, I guess for the size of a book louse, a bit aggressive. And so I kind of smushed them. And she has had absolutely no interest in smushed book lice. So I'll try to take that out of there, or I might just remove Rachna at one point into a new enclosure. Yeah. So if you're wondering what that cotton swab is doing there, thought I'd keep it in there in case she wanted it in her environment for whatever reason. Some people have put that in there. They see it gives their spider a nice little home, something to kind of crawl onto, hide against. That's all I've got for now. These guys are somewhere in this mess of decaying matter. And that's it. Let's say goodbye to Rachna for now and see if tomorrow we can find those last two little